Guys, can you please confirm the chat box whether you all can able to see the screen or not? Can you type it in the chat box? Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, guys. Let me explain about Cognizant Apti paper. Like how many questions were asked, like what are the rounds and all in aptitude. Okay. So I hope like you all are clear with communication assessment. And after communication assessment, you will be having an aptitude round. So total we will be having, just a minute. Let me make it full screen. Yeah, if you have any doubts, you can post it in the chat box. First, let me explain the pattern, and I'll give you few suggestions like how to attempt an aptitude test. First thing is like you just be clear. Okay, there is no such conditions where you can search questions in the chat. I mean, chat GPT and all. So many people might be thinking like, okay, anyhow it will be online exam, so we can search in chat GPT. So we will be having one twist in Cognizant. That twist is game-based aptitude test. I'll tell you and I'll give you some guidance like how to attend game-based aptitude test. Okay. So let's start. Total, we will be having, okay, after completion of the communication assessment, we will be having an aptitude test. Okay, so this aptitude test, they are conducting in two different formats. Like one will be quantitative aptitude, which we are discussing in our CV core. So whatever the topics we covered, mostly 80% of the same topics will be there in the Cognizant syllabus, and there are few more topics which what we didn't covered in CV Corp, like let's say example like certs and indices, okay, geometry. Okay, so just leave about these topics. So whatever the topics which we covered, so make sure that you all are ready with the concepts. Okay, once revise all the concepts as possible. And if you have any doubts on all, like obviously today after 5:30, I mean 5:30 to 7 o'clock, trainers will be available in CV Corp. You can ask whatever the doubts you have. Okay, so regarding this aptitude part, and basically in aptitude, it's not only about quantitative aptitude. We will be having one more round called gamified reasoning. Okay, they named it as gamified aptitude or gamified reasoning. So for majority of the students, okay, this round will be the new round. So quantitative aptitude, it's all about like whatever the topics we already discussed, and this is a new round which they included. I mean, from the last year. So what actually this gamified aptitude? Okay, so what are the games we have here? Like how many questions or how many games and how much time will be given for this gamified aptitude and all, like we'll discuss in brief. So actually when it comes to quantitative aptitude here, we will be having 30 questions. Okay, and we will be having 30 minutes time. So total 30 questions and 30 minutes time will be given in this quantitative aptitude. So hardly you will get one minute for each question. Okay, so one thing you should keep it in mind, don't waste much time for the questions you will get at the starting. So my small suggestion when you are attending quantitative aptitude round is, okay, don't waste more time in the first question itself. Let's say when you're solving the first, and moreover the test, okay, one important point you should understand is it is an adaptive test. Okay, so adaptive test. What exactly means by adaptive? So let's say I'm starting with the first question. Okay, so I answered the first question. So correct. Let's assume that I answered the first question correct. So I will get the second question, which is more little more difficult than this. Let's say this is level one. Okay, this is level one. So if I answered the question correct in level one, I will get level two question. Okay, so if I answer level 2 question correct, then I will get level 3 question. I mean, level 1, level 2, level 3 and all, it is increasing in the difficult order. Okay, so level 3 questions. Okay, now what if? Okay, I answered level 2 question wrong. So the third question which I'm getting is from level 1. So it depends on the question which you are answering. Okay, if you answer the question correct, so you'll get the next level question for the upcoming questions. Okay, so students might be thinking is there any like let's say like cutoff kind of thing in the aptitude means we will be having sectional cutoff as well, so we should answer minimum uh, for the safe side. If you wanted to be in the safe side, so you should minimum score 70% in the aptitude, I mean quantitative aptitude round. So out of 30, make sure that you are scoring more than 20 marks. Okay, I mean more than 20 questions. So it depends on the difficulty level. It's not, we are not sure, and they didn't mention anything in the site. Like difficult questions will be having more marks, or level 1 questions will be having less marks. They didn't mention anything about like levels and all. So I'm just mentioning, they clearly mentioned that it is an adaptive test. So if you answer the question, just a minute. If you answered the question correct in the level 1, so you'll get level 2 question. And if you answered that level 2 question, you will get level 3, and it is keep on increasing, okay, based on the difficulty order. So after this, we next point, like majority of the students, they are asking, is there any negative marking? So no negative marking in cognizant exam. Okay, especially in quantitative aptitude. So we don't have any negative marking. It is an adaptive test. We don't have any negative marking. These 2 points, keep it in mind. Just go through all the concepts thoroughly. If you have any doubts and all, feel free to approach us. We will be available here today. So any doubts regarding any concept or questions, you can come and ask. Okay. So these are the things regarding this quantitative aptitude. Now, when it come to the point of gamified aptitude, so we have different set of games. We are not so sure which student will get which type of game. There are so many games, and actually this gamified aptitude round introduced by earlier like Capgemini in 2020. So after that, even few more companies are following the same thing. Let's say Cognizant, even Cognizant also introduced this gamified aptitude test. I mean, from the last 1 or 2 years. So what actually this gamified aptitude, and what's the purpose of actually introducing this gamified aptitude is, as I said, like majority in this part, like majority of the people, like they might be thinking about like anyhow online exam, so we can search the questions in chat GPT, all those things. So here it is not at all possible in gamified aptitude test, because you'll be having very very less time in gamified aptitude, and depends on the game that you are playing, timer will be deferred. Okay, so you should make sure that don't take any help from any other, so believe on yourself. Okay, and these games are very simple. But the most important point is, before you are playing or before you are attempting this gamified aptitude test, okay, you should be aware of what kind of games might be given. So based on the previous year's exam papers, so I'll just tell you about like what type of games that you may get in an exam. So let's go with the gamified things first. Okay, let's say like in cognitive assessments, we will be having, yes, let's say these are the most important games that majority of the students used to get either in Capgemini as well as Cognizant. One is deductive logical thinking, inductive logical thinking, grid challenge, and motion challenge. So before getting into this, gamified aptitude, any doubts regarding this pattern, you may post it in the chat box. I'll answer the questions. So after that, like we'll go with the gamified aptitude thing. Okay, so most of the people, like you should be clear about how many questions will be given in aptitude. I mean quantitative aptitude, 30 questions and 30 minutes. Okay, it's an adaptive test, no negative marking. So make sure, okay, don't waste more time in the first question itself. Okay, so that like as we know that we don't have any negative marking, so make sure that you attend all the questions as possible within the given time. So you should manage the time actually. Okay, I hope you all are clear up to the points which we discussed. Yeah, I can see one question, like can skip the questions. Okay, actually last year pattern, there is no option called skip. So because it's an adaptive test based on the question that you are answering, you will get the difficulty level of the next question. So the next question is depending on the question which you are attending earlier. So we don't have a skip option till the last year. I'm not so sure like this year. Mostly we are expecting the same even this year also. So we have to see. Any other questions? So quickly, for 10 minutes, I'll just brief you about like gamified aptitude thing. Okay, because instead of going with a blank mind while attempting exam, so it's better to know at least few things regarding these games. Can we edit answer? That's what actually like regarding this Cognizant exam, we don't have an option to edit answers. So make sure that you are answering because like if we have very basic thing, if we have an edit option based on the next question difficulty level, students can easily predict whether the previous question they answer correct or not, right? So mostly like we will not be having that edit option. I think so. So I'm just giving an inputs based on the previous year Cognizant exam. So mostly we're expecting the same thing. So we don't have option to skip or we don't have option to edit answers in especially in aptitude. Even in gamified also we cannot have that intrasectional navigation within the exam in CTS. Okay, so let's get into this game-based aptitude. So I'll just give you some briefing about what actually this deductive logical thinking, inductive logical thinking, what is meant by grid challenge and what is meant by motion challenge. So let's go with the first deductive logical thinking. So I hope you all might be aware of puzzles, right? So what kind of puzzles mostly they are focusing on is, so I hope like you all are aware of the Sudoku puzzles, right? So instead of using numbers in Sudoku, okay, so they will use symbols. Okay, they will use four symbols or five symbols in the logical thinking part. So let me give you a small example here. So hope you all know the rules of these Sudoku puzzles, right? Okay, so what are the main rules of Sudoku puzzle is same number should not be repeated. I mean, same number should not be repeated in the same row or column. Okay, here same symbol. Okay, same symbol should not repeat. Okay, in the same row, in the same row or column. Okay, same symbol should not repeat in the same row or column. Okay, let's have an example. Here we have four symbols. One is, I mean, square, circle, triangle, and plus. So if you observe, all these four symbols are being used in the same column. So none of the symbol is getting repeated, right? So here, if you observe, in this particular row, so there are four symbols needs to be assigned. So plus is already done, triangle is done, circle is done. So what is the symbol left out? Obviously, it is square. So you should pick the answer from the symbols which you can see below the line. So this is that answer you should pick. So see, correct answer is obviously square. So this is what actually the puzzle, one of the game that you need to play. And moreover, don't expect anyone that they will help in that exam because you will be having very less time. Okay, for some games you will be having just seconds time to conclude that answer. So don't depend. My small suggestion is don't depend on anyone. So try to play by your own. So without taking any other help. So that might give you more confidence while playing and yes, even you can save time also. Okay, so let's say here in the second question you can understand. So the symbol which is missing is obviously it is a circle. So and it while you answer these two questions, the difficulty level may increase even in gamings also. So let's say first two questions I answered is correct. So those two questions are very basic questions. Now if you observe the third one, can you guess the symbol here for the third one? Can you post it in the chat box? Either it is already in the last row, we will be having a triangle and a square. So the only symbols are either it may be circle or plus symbol. Okay, which should come in the question mark place, either circle or plus mark. So these should be thing like well after starting the exam. So you should be more cautious while solving puzzles. Yeah, very good. Yes, majority of the people they're posting it as plus. Yes. Okay. Why it is place means very simple. So how can we decide that whether it is circle or place? It's very simple basically. So if you observe here we have plus in the first row. I'm just taking the reference of the first row. Here we have a plus symbol. Here we have a square symbol. So obviously here circle will not be placed. Okay. So why? The reason is so already in the same column we have one circle. So obviously this will be okay. So triangle and this will be circle. So if this will be circle in the same column, so circle will not come again. So this will be plus and this will be circle. So actually our answer will be so plus. So this is how we need to solve and we need to deduct that logical puzzles. So obviously the answer will be plus. Okay, so hope you got a small clarity on the first game. So if you want, like after completion of this session, like I'll share you this PPT. You just go through all the questions so that you will be having a small idea before attending that actual test. Okay, I'll be sharing this PPT after completion of our class in the group. So just go through all the questions so you will get more clarity. And if you have any doubts, you can come and ask. Okay, so let's say we have so many questions like this. Okay, you just give it a try. Okay, so that actually this, if you solve all the questions, you'll get more practice for the tomorrow's exam. Okay, so after completion of this, okay, we will be having a second game. Okay, identifying the patterns, similar patterns. Okay, so this will be like it is very easy to understand, and this is the very easiest game out of all the games. Okay, it's actually I'm showing some 3 to 4 games. Okay, it's not mandatory that everybody should get these 4 games. There are few more games also they might include. So don't fix it in your mind. Only we will get these games. Okay, there are so many games, almost around I think so 8 to 9 games which were there. So out of that, like you'll get some 3 to 4 games. Okay, here just you need to identify the pattern. So if you observe here, the pattern here is you can observe these diagonals, okay, with the same symbol. So here you can observe the diagonals with the same symbol. Only thing you just need to click by using your mouse. Okay, so the same. Okay, you can observe the pattern. Okay, so if you observe the pattern, the same symbol will be on the first column and second column and the same symbol. You might be thinking, sir, these games are very easy. So, but you just need to decide these games within fraction of seconds. Okay, your timer might be 5 seconds or 3 seconds, okay, or 2 seconds sometimes. So it may vary. So make sure that okay, you are answering all the questions fast. So within that, let's an example. I'll be having 1 minute for this particular game. As many questions you answered in this 1 minute, you will get okay that many marks. Okay, some people might answer 5 questions, some people might answer 8 questions. Okay, the people who answer 5 questions will get 5 marks. The people who answer more questions, okay, might get more marks. Okay, so make sure that timer will also with that given time, like how many questions that you answer matters a lot. Okay, let's say this is the easiest game, and next one will be a motion challenge. This is most important, and the majority of the students will waste much time, will consume much time in this particular motion challenge. Okay, hope you might know about this game. So I'll just give you a few rules. Okay, so here you can see the black color. Let's assume that black color hole, and we can see a ball here. Okay, and our main motto is to make this ball. Okay, to take this ball to this particular place. Okay, so and the conditions here, okay, you can move this ball either horizontal way or either vertical way. Okay, you cannot move it in a diagonal pattern. So what's actually the biggest challenge here, what's the biggest task here is, okay, the person who make this ball to put it in this hole with as minimum steps as possible will get as many marks as possible. Okay, so you can observe here. So how to move this ball to this particular place with as many less steps as possible. Okay, let me give you a small example. Okay, so here I have given 3 steps for this, 3 minimum steps. So brown and yellow, move it to the left hand. Okay, so you should move this to left hand. Okay, so one grid. So after that, like you can see here red ball to grid 24. So here what is this 2 4 means? This is second row. Okay, to make you understand second row and fourth column. So obviously second row and fourth column means you can move this ball to the like to this particular place. So obviously this will be empty because this brown color grid will be moved to the left hand. So after that brown color block, okay, moving to the upwards. So obviously this will be moved to this particular place and you can take this ball to this particular hole. So your challenge will be done. Once if you complete this particular challenge, you will be asked the next question. Okay, so this is how you need to solve the questions on the motion challenge. Okay, so you'll be having so many examples and so many questions like this. So you can just give a try. Okay, so you'll be having solution for this also. Like these are the solutions which I have given clearly. Okay, with less steps. Okay, how to complete this particular motion challenge. Okay, this is the third game that you will be getting in an exam, and the next one will be grid challenge. Okay, we will be having a grid challenge. Okay, so grid challenge primary task, you can observe here. Okay, it is moreover like remembering power. Okay, so remembering the dots. So I'll just give you an example. So this is how the grid challenge will be. So here you can see the dots on the screen. Okay, some light colored dots. Okay, so first, okay, here hope you can remember the dot which got highlighted in the at the first time, correct? So this is the dot where it is getting highlighted. Okay, I'm not marking anything here. You just remember the dot. And the most important point you should remember is this dot will be appearing only for 3 seconds in the exam. Okay, only for 3 seconds. Okay, so if you'll get this particular game, okay, it will be like more fun game, and moreover, you should it will test your remembering power as well. So this is the first dot which is getting highlighted, and it will, okay, next you should identify whether these two figures that you are seeing it as symmetrical or not. So it's just like flip image or not. So if it is yes, okay, you should click on yes. If it is no, you should click on no. So this you have to answer, and after that again the same dots will be appearing. Now the second time, so the dot is getting highlighted somewhere else. So again the same, this dot will be highlighted only for 3 seconds. Okay, so you should remember the first dot where it got highlighted, and the second time which dot is getting highlighted. And again they will ask you one symmetric or non-symmetric question. Okay, is these two images are symmetrical or not? You just need to identify and observe and tell whether it is symmetrical or not. Obviously, by looking at this, I can say that these two are not symmetrical. What actually means by symmetrical means if you observe these here three blocks and here you just observe the pattern. This is not a flip image, right, or mirror image. So obviously, I'm clicking it is okay. It is not a symmetrical figures. Now again the same dots will be displayed on the screen. Now third time and the final time. Okay, so one more dot is getting highlighted here. So the major challenge here is remembering power. So first time which dot is getting highlighted, and second time which dot got highlighted, and the third time which dot is getting highlighted. You should remember the places where it is getting highlighted. So after that, okay, so it will again they will ask you one symmetrical question. So you should answer whether it is yes or no. Obviously, it is symmetrical. So I'm answering it as yes. So again, now this is the major task. Okay, for you all. Now what you need to do is you need to highlight the dots. Okay, let's say this is the first dot which I have seen here. Okay, which got highlighted. And the second dot where you can observe, you just need to click on the dot. You will get the number. Let me show you that example. Let's say you just need to align. This is the first dot which got highlighted first time, second time here it got highlighted, third time here it got highlighted. Instead of giving this numbering for these dots, if you give for any other dot, so you will lose your marks. Okay, this is very nice game. Okay, among all the games, so it is very easy to play, but only thing is you should have more conscious while playing the game. Okay, so make sure that you play this game by your own. My small suggestion is don't mess up by taking help from your friends, because okay, so they might give some other answers, you might be feeling some other answers. Okay, instead, like you just go through all the games once. Okay, so what are the rules and regulations of the games? So I have clearly mentioned in the PPT. So these are the rules and regulations, and hope you will get the same games. If you'll get same games, obviously like you'll get benefited. So if not, like, be ready and be more conscious. First, read rules and regulations of the game. So even if you will not get the same games which I displayed, so no need to worry about it. So first read rules and regulations of the game. So how to play and how to move. If it is a motion challenge, okay, how many moves included, whether we can move it horizontal or vertical. So just know all the rules and play the game. So it will be more fun and it is easy to clear this game-based aptitude test. Okay, so remember, you will be having two particular sections in aptitude. One is quantitative aptitude and one is gamified aptitude. Both sections will be having a sectional cutoff. Okay, make sure you answered questions in aptitude correctly. At least try to score minimum percentage. Okay, and also in these games as well. At least try to play and try to get more as many score as possible in this game-based aptitude. Okay, so we will be having these many games in the PPT, and there are few more. So I will share this PPT. You can take it as a reference. Okay, you just read and try to understand. If you have any doubts, okay, feel free to come and ask your doubts. Okay, we will be available, so you can ask your doubts in the CV in the institute itself. Okay, so that's it, guys. Okay, regarding this aptitude test, once after completion of the communication assessment, you will be having an aptitude test. After in the second round, they have clearly mentioned that aptitude and as well as technical assessment. Okay, so after completion of this, you'll be having a technical assessment as well. Okay, once based on the results that you are getting in the both rounds, you'll be calling for an interview. An interview will be in-person interview. Okay, it's not an online, so you have to go to the office and you have to give an interview. Okay, so that's it about the pattern. And if you have any doubts, feel free to ask your doubts in the chat box. I hope you all are clear. Yeah. Okay. Um, Nikhil is asking, what about round three technical round? Do we get exam based on qualification of these two rounds? No, 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 no. Okay, mostly we'll be getting aptitude and a technical round. Okay, irrespective of whether you will be qualified or not. So after completion of that, like you'll be called for an interview based on the performance that you performed in the aptitude and the coding as well. So it's not only based on aptitude, you'll be getting technical and all. So like you'll be having aptitude and technical board. Yeah, that's it, guys. If you have any doubts, we are here in the institute. Okay, so you can come at any time and you can get your doubts clarified. Okay, yeah. Thank you all. Email you know. All the best, guys, for your exam.